Good morning, people. I'm on a mission to document the dialogues and documents and correspondences that I've got lying in my house, and which has become part of my trauma. I need to repair and move on. And instead of things getting better, it's getting worse, as you can see. It's New Year. I shouldn't be at this place in my life where I'm not eating, and this is the state of my house. And just recently I was talking about doing my work, decluttering, so I don't leave the job for somebody else, and especially with what happened to my neighbor Tess. So I've done this already. So I've put a new thing in. Hopefully it will work out again, because I'm just getting stressed. Right, so as you can see, I'm going to do it like this. So this is 25th November 2011, and that's when I was rejected for the post of lead early years practitioner. I was the only member of staff shortlisted. I did not get that job. That resulted in another meltdown, and that's when I decided I couldn't go through with any more of what was happening to me. I'll work for my pension. I'll give of my best. Hence the reason I was on Sky News, and I was on Sky News the 5th of July, the 5th of September 2011, and as you can see the date, another rejection. I also met Michael Gove before this rejection. On the other page, as you can see, it speaks for itself. It's from the new manager, Gemma Mann. And I think she was the one who was set up to send me LinkedIn requests, because the discrimination was sanctioned from she came to work at LEYF, Luton Street, as manager. Right, so I'm going to tie in this. This will also be Mervelee last day at Luton Street, as she transfers to another nursery closer to her home and family. So please join us in saying a big thank you for all the commitment, passion and hard work she has shown over the past 4.5 years. And I'm going to tie in, where necessary, narratives that will help tell you why I've been at this place in my life where I'm getting worse instead of better. Because what they used to destroy me or trigger my trauma was allegations and discipline, unprofessional, uncooperative, rude, intimidating, confrontational, aggressive, lacking empathy. So this is my introduction to... I'm doing therapy, Tom. Don't worry. I need to get this out of the way, okay? So please don't worry. You have to help me to help us, okay? Say something, now, man.
What you saying?
I'm saying I'm doing therapy, so don't worry about me, okay? All right. Yeah, I have to be reassuring my husband, because I don't want the worry take its toll on him. So this is my introduction to Bird in the Bush, people. I'm not going to read everything. I can't afford to read everything. I'm just digitalizing. Right, so here is the supervision report. And of interest, I want you to take note, put this on record. Are there comments on any other issues about your job role and how you feel about it? Health issues such as Parkinson's disease, diabetes, arthritis, and mobility difficulties result in other underlying causes. These may have adverse impacts on how I am able to carry out my job role on a given day. Yeah? So that's it for now. And the other one, in which areas do you feel most in need of further improvement and development? Need support to use knowledge gained from studies to promote inclusion in developing children's communication and language skills, PECS training. I think I should read also the top. What do you think your main achievements have been in the past 12 months? Working in 2 settings, Luton Street and Bird in the Bush Nursery, where there were favorable Ofsted inspections. Covering in LEYF nurseries to witness how practitioners deliver quality practices from the same shared vision. Using knowledge and expertise from studies to work collaboratively in teams. Right. What developments will you need over the next 12 months to help improve your performance? Although I had done the ECAT monitoring sheet training, notice the ECAT forms are not being completed and put in the learning journeys. There needs to be a curriculum folder documenting evidence of how activity plans and focus group sessions support, enhance, and extend learning across the EYFS areas. Next steps are priorities of EYFS. Yeah? So that's my input. Yeah? To where I'm now. I was. Right. So the next piece of work is an article I had written for social media after we'd done the first aid at work training. Tuesday 29 to Thursday 31st of January 2013. Yeah? That was at Holcroft. Right. So the next piece you will see is I'm just doing it how I have it. So the next piece of document is invitation to disciplinary. As you can see, that's when they tampered with my address, and to this date I am having problems. I've not recovered from them tampering with my data to when they send somebody to invade my home and beat me black and blue. As you can see, the name on there is Neil King, HR Director. Where is Neil King? Why did Neil King resign? Is it because he's a pedophile? The next one is trying to do it in order because I've made so many attempts. So this is the outcome following the disciplinary hearing you attended on the 7th April 2015. Yeah? And this is the outcome. Yeah? Misconduct. Conduct likely to offend other employees and children. Final written warning subject to appeal. Those involved, the panel, Rashid Iqbal, Jean Perry, Beverly Jean Perry, and Joel Lacks. Now, where is Rashid Iqbal? Was he also recruited by June O'Sullivan so she can be top of men like Neil King, working in a diverse organization that she took over and changed into her image to have control of men once she turned a psychopath because of probably something that happened in her past while she was a single mother? Now, where is Joel Lacks also? That's another thing. Right, here is outcome of the disciplinary appeal hearing. The name to look for is Louise Cooper. Yeah? Those on the panel was Jill Springer, Mary Wynne Finch, and Louise Cooper. I've since seen Louise Cooper in the writing for the Daily Express, and once I started putting my information out there, I don't see her again. Is that the same Louise Cooper? Is it coincidence that somebody working in her field was working for the Daily Express or Sunday Express? There's an article that she had written that I saw my photograph in. I never knew any of that, although I signed a contract. And what they've done to me, I never knew of that visit, but my photograph is in there. Yeah? I'll tell you furthermore. So this is the form that was written up by Dilys Ipton for the medical suspension that I went on. That was in breach of the contract I signed and the my human rights. As you can see from my highlighted comments, Dilys Ipton is an idiot. Yeah? And maybe that's why my highlighted comments. Maybe that's why Dilys Ipton felt the need to send me a Facebook request on the date I was called to her central office for Neil King to harass, bully, and intimidate me to write a resignation, as was done to Karen Walker and others. Right? So this is the report. As you can see, it says, as requested at your recent assessment, please find attached the advice report addressed to your employer. That's it. At the appeal hearing, they said they did not get a copy. They have to disrupt the hearing to go read my copy. Yeah? Who were the panel? Louise Cooper, Mary Wynne Finch, and Jill Springer. Jill Springer was one of the witnesses. Yeah? They made out, the panel, the judgment made out that I had gone for a medical examination. Here it says assessment. Now, diabetes was one of the disabilities I claimed for. Yeah? They said I made up disabilities. I had reasonable adjustment. I just want to point out, get emotional and psychological support. Being diagnosed with diabetes and living with a long-term condition can be difficult. You should be able to talk about your issues and concerns with specialist healthcare professionals. Yeah? I've started getting information for Parkinson's UK from 2004 because I'm still not aware of Parkinson's in my DNA and the impact on me, why I have physical and mental disabilities. So see, my support. And I'm on websites doing interview for Parkinson's. I wrote on the 4th of April 2014, I know more about Parkinson's than most, updated 2017, and it was used by other websites to now where, yes, Samantha Jones argued Parkinson's at the EAT. I could not put in Parkinson's as a disability because I do not have a medical diagnosis. Right, so this is the 3 pages of medical report. In the judgment, it said a page was missing and I have to give them to copy. Now, why would I have to give the employment tribunal documents to copy when this was a court management order and I copied in the employment tribunal when each time I write to Mr. Fenton because he was not complying with the court management order. Right, here is another one, talking therapies. This was left out totally, yes? Because this is another case management report, so this was left out totally. And they said there were no other medical reports, so that's it. I said no further about that. Another one is, this is the dentist report, because it was a dentist who informed me that I should seek advice, because it's only people with diabetes has the dental problems I was having. As you can see, it's a total printout from the time I joined the practice. I paid for it. This is a health form, a health questionnaire that I filled in because I was actively seeking employment, because I informed Dilly Sipton on the 27th of March 2015 when she came to my house. I told her my story about my father and what happened after he developed Parkinson's disease and how I developed trauma. Yeah? And this is a report from Dilly Sipton. Yeah? So they are claiming 27th of the 3rd, 2015 when she met with me. DE said that she had concerns about Mervelee's medical situation, as MM had mentioned it in connection in several conversations when we had discussed things recently. DE explained that this meeting was not anything to do with the disciplinary investigation that MM was undergoing. I'm going to say state without prejudice, or with prejudice, or without prejudice, it doesn't matter, that Dilly Sipton is a pathological liar who was set up to this. Yeah? Because I have the letter that I wrote to Dilly Sipton on the 14th of March 2015 about her not sending me the information to get the support that she promised when she visited Bird in the Bush. So what? To stitch me up to take a grievance because they know I have no concrete grounds and they could use that against me. So that was just one of the measures. So Dilly Sipton is an idiot. When I say Dilly Sipton is an idiot, she's an idiot, and she was being discriminated against. That's why at the employment tribunal she couldn't answer a question because she couldn't remember anything. Yeah. So this is a letter I wrote 6th of September 2015 about hospital appointment and CBR check. In the diabetes note, it said about seeking support. The other letter, 2-page, is about third-party instructions. Yeah? But because by this time, I was beyond my theta. Right. So the next one you're going to see is further to your appeal hearing, because they expected a different outcome. So we're going to meet for the about the medical report and to organize my return to work. So I was sent on medical suspension in breach of the contract I signed. I explained to Dilly Sipton about my situation and what happened after the death of my brother and how I had actually self-referred to occupational health at King's College Hospital. Yeah? So this is more information, and I'm going to state again how evil LEYF and Dilly Sipton is, because she was just a pawn. MM mentioned that she had not realized the impact of bereavement that she had suffered immediately before joining BIB. My stories are out there in cyberspace. I was at the end of the telephone when my mother was dying. I wrote about my granny and my father dying a month apart in 1980. I wrote about the murder of 2 uncles. The first one, 76, when I was pregnant. The other one, my brother was there. He was beaten up. As a result, my grandma's death of a broken heart. She never came out of her house again after her son. She came out to pour talcum powder on her son in his coffin. So how could my mom's death years later now impact on me so much that I was at? See the amount of things that happened after my mom's death. Went for my mom's funeral. Was at my eldest grandson's graduation. Came back, was at the New Year staff party where June Sullivan was making a fool of herself. Yeah? She's a believer. So what impact? How could I not know the impact? Yeah? Because I manage everything within my life. So it don't impact on other areas of my life. Yeah? So this is me responding to a letter. Yeah? Because I applied for additional witness statement. When the reviews, I got access to 3 reviews sent to me by Winsome Duncan because I couldn't access LEYF website. Yeah? This is rather CNS, so that would tie in with the talking therapies. As a result of me doing talking therapies, I was in other groups and I done mental health research. Now they've contacted me about something recently. So this is me addressing another discrepancy. That the stupid John Fenton, it turns out he's a con man and representing LEYF as if he was a solicitor. And I mistakenly thought he was involved with Bates Wells and Brathwaite. So I'm still not certain what their role was in this matter. Yeah? I'm not sure what their role is. And I'm sure this letter isn't complete. It might be. And I don't know if it's in this one I question the role of Bates Wells and Brathwaite. Yeah? But I have all these. Right, this one is about, I said I responded when they did not accept my application to submit additional witness statement when I got hold of the 3 reviews. So that was them objecting it. And everything, the employment tribunal sided with the respondent. Like adjourning the ET because Samantha Jones said she did not prepare a case, and then yeah, so this is the case management report. Yeah, and that's from when I realized Mr. Fenton was an idiot. Yeah, and when we meet, it was brought home to me he was a total idiot. And that's when Mr. Fenton tell me, I asked him, did you see my file? And he indicated it's that thick. And that's when he told me he know. He offered me 1 to 2,000 and said, no, I cannot deal with the employment tribunal because of stress. Yeah? And to tie in with this, here it is, emotional well-being. At present, I'd prefer not to be requested to go over to Penfold Street residential home because of personal reasons. I have communicated the reasons verbally to my colleagues from last week, but no one seemed to have taken this on board. Therefore, I'd appreciate if my circumstances can be taken into considerations until I'm able to deal with these issues that are affecting me. Thanks, Mervelee Myers. Yeah? So they're using my file. They have not had access to my file. And they're using my file to do all that they're doing to me. If I'm doing a live on YouTube, somebody is there 24/7. June O'Sullivan was a former mental health nurse, and that's all I'm going to say. Yeah? So this is acceptance of the ET, and that's when I realized that whoever prepared this form, there it is in red, whoever prepared it don't have a clue. Yeah? There it is. Yeah? As Here's another. Yeah, that's the amendment to my witness statement when they made allegations. So there it is. I don't accept anything that they think when I put something in writing, they misconstrued and misrepresent, and then like the interview with the police, you cannot change anything. So that's why the police is getting in touch with me. And every time they contact me, I address each line. Yeah? Here is the one from John Fenton, 26th of May, 2016. So that's to do with the case management, whether they accepting that the claimant was disabled. Yeah? And the way they bungled up the employment tribunal, so this is when I seek advice. Because the first time I represented myself, I didn't have a clue. I got to the employment tribunal, they returned the bundle. Yeah? So this was, I'll do a podcast about this. Yeah? This was when something was cancelled. And that's why Bar Standards Board can take over a year. Solicitors Regulation can tell me that my employers can use my disability against me. Judge Parfit can accept that, yes, Samantha Jones was doing her job, so she's going to get a murderer off a charge. It's acceptable. Like how the abusers in the reviews online can skip and jump, and some of them can go on to work in other nurseries. Yeah? Once they jump ship, that's it. Yeah? This is from Chris Pascal and Tony Bertram. It was lovely to meet you too, Mervelee, and see your enthusiasm for your work. And it's never too late to go for the St. Teacher Certificate. Warmest, Chris and Tony. That was, I meet them the 19th of September 2015 at LEYF Big Child Care Conversation. That's when June O'Sullivan claimed she did not recognize me. I'm all over social media at the time. I was an influencer. So this was written to acknowledge that we've met and we've spoken, and what my intention was to train for my certificate. And by the 22nd, Dilly Sipton was sending me LinkedIn requests. The same date I was invited to Central Office for Neil King to harass, bully, and intimidate me into writing a resignation, like what was done to Karen Walker and others. Yeah? Dilly Sipton claimed she don't remember anything about it. I've since had my LinkedIn refuse me access to my account, so everything that my intellectual property, who is using it? I'm going to wrap up now. So these are some of the names involved in the allegation. Yeah? Of note is Jyoti Bahajwaj, Deputy Manager BIB, because she wrote the review is written under Jyoti Sharma. Yeah? And I'll end now. I was on Sky News. I was in this book because I done LSA training. I wrote open letter to David Cameron. I was put in contact with Department for Education. I done LSA training. I was advised to do volunteering so I could do teacher training. Didn't happen. As a result of me being on that page, on this statistics, 1 in 5 of all suicides are associated with unemployment. That's what Ryan Clement used to give to Winsome Duncan, whom he groomed. So when I was unable to turn up for her birthday party, for them to carry out the plan of harming me and say I committed suicide, she sent the police to section me. So that's how my first contact with the police came. I'm ending this here because I just need this thing to work. So people, this is the way I'm living. This is what I'm down to. And as I'm saying to my husband, I need to sort this place out. I can't live like this anymore. I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. My life has been turned upside down.